They brought me in a lorry. I'd been in Rubin shed, and they wrapped me up in plastic and put a bin bag on my head.
Rubin Eynon, Rubineynon.
So Rubin, yeah, tell me about the works. You know, how long did it take, and when were you first approached to carry out the project?
Simon approached me about 4 years ago and asked me about potentially making a sculpture of Max. Obviously, I'm from Glynneath, Max is from Glynneath, so it kind of worked out. But then obviously the pandemic hit, so it's taken 4 years basically to get to this point. Actual production was probably a year and a half, something like that, but he's been sitting in my studio since February, waiting until today.
Is it quite nice to finally be able to show people what you've been working on? And stuff?
Yeah, it is actually. It was a bit nerve-wracking today, obviously, thinking people are going to like it. But so far so good, right? It looks like him, that's what I'm happy about.
But where does it rank in the works that you've done in the past? For yourself personally?
Yeah, it's up there. I mean, I don't do that many figurative pieces, but this is say maybe third now with the Tintagel project, and I've just done one at Carnarvon Castle and now Max. So,
and you know, from Glynneath yourself, Max means so much to the area, doesn't he? What was it like to be commissioned to do a work like this?
Oh, it's just brilliant, really. And you know, obviously, you're getting to meet Max, and I 3D scanned him, and you know, he was coming down to my studio a few times to have a look at as work progresses. So yeah, it's been really good working with Max actually, and he obviously well deserves this first piece of sculpture in Glynneath.
Yeah, I imagine you'd hope that lots of people come and admire it over the coming weeks and months and years. Though.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think people would make maybe a little pilgrimage just to come and see it, you know.
Perfect, that's great. Perfect.
Much appreciated.
Thanks.
Well done.
Nice one. Thank you.
Right. Local Glynneath news and views.
Oh, brilliant. Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Excellent.
It'll be on like Facebook or whatever, is it?
Yeah, is that okay? I mean, you know, remember?
Yeah.
Are you a member?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm a
excellent.
member.
Great.
What's your name?
Di
Richards.
Richards. Yeah.
Oh, I've seen your name on there.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're infamous.
Yeah.
you're
Today, yeah.
square, the square mile bit, you know. And
Yeah.
I don't know how that applies to me, to be honest. Yeah. So, can we look at the process? What's the process that's involved with this? Yeah.
Well, so my plan was I didn't want to make a sculpture that was kind of my interpretation of Max.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've essentially 3D scanned him.
Yeah.
And then, so it's as close to Max as it can actually be. You know?
So did you say to Max, how do you want to be depicted, or did you?
Yeah, well, we kind of spoke about, you know, pose and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he obviously wanted to be holding his guitar.
Yeah.
So I said to Max, stand in the position you want to be in the sculpture, and then I 3D scanned him. And then that digital 3D scan then gets produced, gets kind of processed.
Yeah.
So I 3D printed his head.
Yeah.
His body was machined out of polystyrene and then kind of modeled afterwards. His guitar was made from scratch, from bits of wood based on his actual guitar that he uses on tour.
Yeah.
And then it was sent to the foundry in Pembrokeshire.
Yeah.
And they cast from the original that I made into bronze.
Oh, lovely.
So yeah, it's quite a process, you know.
Yes,
lots of different steps.
Yeah.
But it's turned out all right so far.
Okay. And the other life figures you've done, you said you've done a couple before.
Well, I did a sculpture of King Arthur essentially. It was sort of based on King Arthur and the lords of Cornwall. Yeah. For Tintagel Castle down in Cornwall.
Right. Okay.
Did that back in 2016. That went in.
So did you 3D scan King Arthur?
It was actually
Did you find him in Craigienas?
We did. We scanned somebody. We scanned one of the really tall bloke that works at Dave, Top Shelf Dave. We scanned him down at Tintagel. But it was a bit of a conglomeration of pieces that went into that one. But it's quite holy, sort of see-through sculpture, kind of depicting the myth of King Arthur.
Yes.
And then recently I did a sculpture three sculptures up at Carnarvon Castle. That involved hands. So the hands that we've used are my hands.
Okay.
Again, you know, 3D scanning is just such a brilliant technique for quickly getting the shapes that you want. Because time is money, you know.
Sorry?
Time is money.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
You know, the quicker you can kind of get something made, the better.
Yeah. Brilliant. Excellent.
Thanks.
And have you got any other projects on the go?
I'm currently working on a project down in Pembrokeshire Castle. Pembroke Castle.
Yeah.
But it's early days, design stage.
Yeah.
We're not really quite sure what we're going to end up making yet.
Yeah.
But, you
Good.
know, it's
Brilliant.
all in hand. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, good luck on that.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cheers. Thank you.